Hey everybody, Christian West here. I'm glad that you tuned in to What Would You Do? Welcome to the series of videos where Joe and I ask each other critical questions from the executive protection industry. If you like what you see, click here, like and subscribe. And if you have questions that you want us to answer or try to find a solution to, send them to us via email, text. You can find us on social media. I'm sure you have ideas, or you can post them here and we'll play along and take your question. So, welcome to What Would You Do? Season 2. All right, Joe, here's another one that I got. You have a principal that wants to be super discreet. He doesn't want to give the appearance of him having security, and he also get car sick if he sits in the back. Right. So he wants to ride in the front. But he didn't tell you before you guys walk towards the vehicle. Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah. Well, of course, they kind of sit where they want to sit. So, of course, if we're walking up to the car, I'm going to assume they're going to go to the right rear seat. So hopefully, I don't work that too awkwardly by, letting him get in the front seat. And when I say let him get into the front seat is if that's the perception that he wants to achieve, that, where he doesn't have security, someone, boxing people out, opening doors, then I'm going to let him get into the front seat versus open the door and, all proper, open the door and let him in and have that approach. So I'm just going to kind of let him get in the front seat and work my way around the other side. That clients do that for various reasons. You mentioned the carsick thing. Clients sometimes don't like, we had just recently we had an older Escalade and the rear seat legroom wasn't enough for this client. It just wasn't. And so he wanted to sit up front and move that seat all the way back. We had the seat moved up for him, still wasn't enough. So he sat in the front, moved the seat all the way back, and he was good. So there's a lot of reasons why they might ride up front. One of the things I'll bring up though is the awkwardness of asking a client where they want to sit. Avoid that.
Yeah.
Just you do your thing. And if they want to give the feedback of changing where they want to sit, they will. But one of the things, I've actually made this mistake very recently. It was just a couple weeks ago. It was a elderly woman picking up from the airport, and it was a sister of the client. And I've never worked with her before. And this isn't a security thing. It was a sister of a client. It was one of those, hey, can you go pick up my sister?
Yeah.
As I'm walking into the car, I said, would you like to ride up front or in the back seat? And she just was like so flustered at the question. And she was like, she just finally got like, I don't know. And she goes, where do you want me to sit?
Yeah.
And I was like, now it's awkward for me because now I have to decide, sit in the back so I don't have to sit next to you. I don't want to have to say that either. So I felt it right back at me because she asked me the same question, and I felt that awkwardness, and I hopefully I never do that again. But anyway, so long story short, I would let him sit in the front seat.
And I mean, to top that off, if you have a 2-car motorcade, for instance, right? And the principal gets in the front seat, in the back seat, right? Like we always do, right? But you have other people walking up with him. Have you ever had when everybody wants to get in the first car?
Yes.
So you as the EP agent can't get in there, right? What do you do in that case?
Yeah, it depends on the client and the situation, what we're doing, all
the threat, of course.
Yeah. But in most cases, I'm going to let them kind of sit where they want to sit. And I'm not really going to get in the way of that unless I have a reason to. To the same point, I might direct people where to sit because it's also awkward. Like let that principal get in the car first, and now you're not going to ask them to get out to let somebody in the back.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes you have to take some direction to kind of guide people to
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that because that's kind of where I wanted to get with this, right? Because if it's the first time you work with a client, there's a good chance of you not getting it right the first time.
Sure.
Because you never worked them before, right? But if you worked for them for a while, what I always made a point of was when we were getting ready to move and there's multiple people, I would always ask, who here needs to sit in the first car? And if they spoke up, I would say, well, we got one space in the back, kind of hinting that I'm taking the front right. But if they insisted because they needed to brief each other or there was a meeting or a debrief or whatever, well, then I would go sit in the back, the second car. Not an issue at all. So
yeah, good.
So all right.